Hello, Spirit Familia. Hmm. Today's a different day, a different energy to coming on here and connecting with you. Hmm. Just watching my mind. Why don't you join me? What's going on right now in your mind? What thoughts are you thinking? Are there any judgments? Any plans? Any comparison? Like I potentially could be judging myself for being too quiet. I've been very chatty in my other videos. And yet this is what I feel for today. And isn't that liberating to be ourselves the way we need to show up, the way it feels, to be true to ourselves, be true to the moment. So I invite you to be true to this moment. What do you feel right now? I was actually recording a little bit earlier, like just a little while ago, just like minutes ago. And my daughter came in and I had asked her, look, I just need to concentrate a little here. So, um, give mommy some space and you come. And then she came in to ask me a question and she can see that I was recording. And I got frustrated. I got upset. I mean, not like this, the way I'm reacting right here on the video. And she's like, oh, I just wanted to get the cat. Children are children. And I told her, I understand that, but you could wait. You can see that mommy is recording and you can wait to get the cat. There's no emergency here. And I was very specific in telling you that for me to focus and be able to share what I need to share, it's really helpful to me if I'm in my own space. That's it. That's all. And so, I don't know, I just felt to share that with you guys now because that's something that's very present, right? Like, I could go into the story like, oh, I was already doing the video, I was in a flow, I was in da 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 da. I can see how my mind will go there. And no, I don't want to miss this moment. And so I feel like literally every moment, every stress, every distraction, every worry, every fear, every encounter is always an invitation for us to go deeper into the moment. Basically, the option is, are you going to really be here right now? Or are you going to let yourself be led by what's in front of you, by the thoughts that are going in your mind? Are you going to let that lead you? Or are you going to let the moment lead you? Which is basically saying, let the Spirit lead you. Let God lead you, right? The peace of God is in this moment. That is where it is. And yet, when we take the bait on a thought, especially one that's stressful or that is going to point at someone, that's going to create guilt, that's going to defend ourselves, that's going to attack any of that, that has any sense of conflict or grievance in it. When we take that bait, we lose the moment. I know that for myself. And when we take the bait in a fight, in a discussion, in a verbal thing, whatever it is, our neighbor, our landlord, whatever it may be, at work, are we taking the bait or are we taking what the moment has to give us? we have to remember that every moment has an invitation, either to be with it, to accept it as it is, right? Or to fight it, to react to it, to take the bait on whatever's coming up, whether it's in front of us or in here, because as the Course in Miracles teaches us, those two are pretty much the same thing. They feel very different, but they're all part of the one dream, right? Right? This matrix, this experience, this human experience. What is happening inside our mind, if anything, needs more attention, but is equally the same as what is happening outside our mind. Or let me rephrase that. Nothing is happening outside our mind. What is happening outside of our body, like, what we're interpreting, what we're seeing, what we're touching. This is what I mean, versus what we're thinking. In this experience, they feel different. And yet, the Course is teaching us that they're one and the same. So that goes to show you how important what is going on in the mind is, how much we actually need to look at it. And we have an invitation to look at it every moment. Like, I'm talking to you right now, right? I'm sharing this with you. I have feelings, and yet I can be very aware of what I'm saying. I can be very aware that I am sharing with you. I can be very aware of my intention for this moment. And so, like, I'm focused in. My attention is truly here. It is not in what I have to cook tonight, in where I'm gonna live by the end of this month, in my daughter who's hitting the door trying to probably get my attention. I can notice it, and yet I am here. And if I want to notice it, which is okay too, I shift my attention and I give that, right? Like I shift, I give that the attention. So the call is always here. It's always here. Into this instant, right? And noticing how our thoughts distract us from this instant. Noticing how situations distract us from this instant. And yet it is only in this instant, again and again and again, that we find peace, that we can open ourselves completely, that we can actually access God. Love, because it is all there is. Like, we think there's a future, we think there's a past, but those are two spaces that are only in our mind, that aren't really, they're not here. And so the only true portal to what is, to reality, is right here. This is the portal. This is the portal to peace. Right here. And as I say it, I can feel this expansion, like this depth and this expansion, almost like a camera lens. And so I invite you to bring this into whatever you're doing right now. As you watch this, notice yourself. Notice the awareness you're bringing towards it. This is you bringing your, attention is sacred, because it's literally the place where we're choosing, where we are giving all energy. And so what are we putting our attention to? And literally the ego's job is to distract, to take away from this moment. It's literally its job for you to worry, for you to fight, for you to react, for you to doubt, for you to, right? Not making the ego the enemy. It is just what it does. It's literally the only thing it survives on is this identity that is based off of fear. And so it will do anything, because the place where we can release that, where we can access that fullness, is right now. Have you noticed that when, like, you fall in love, right? When you really like someone, do you want to be on your phone? Right? If you're with them, right? Because if you're not with them, you might want to be on the phone. But you just want to be with them. You just want to be in the moment. You just want to be at the beach and look at each other and hang out and have conversations. And you want to go into the water. You want to swim and you want to enjoy it and look at the sunset. And you want to have dinner and you just want to take each other in because your focus and your intention is just there. That, if you can recall that feeling and bring it towards this. The thing is that when we're with people that make us feel like they give us a state of love, what they're actually doing, or we feel like we're falling in love with them, what's really happening is that we're accessing the love that's already within us, and this person is sort of like the permission slip to do that, right? Or the catalyst. It's the positive trigger to then unleash it. It opens like a valve. And that valve is what's inside has always been within us, right? It's like a fountain just waiting for that valve to open. And we give something outside of us, gives us the permission to open the valve because we feel worthy, because we feel loved, because we believe. So that really what gives the valve permission to open is our mind. And what gives our mind the belief that we can open it is based on where we think our happiness and the love can come from. But what's truly happening is that that person is outside of us, has given us the opportunity to open up the valve for ourselves, to be in a state of love, to feel that love. But it's always been within us. It's something that we access, that we have. And we thought that it was the other person who provided it. That goes, right? Over time, that's not going to stay there. Those experiences come and go. And yet we think, and we almost like animals associate, like Pavlov, like you associate one thing with another. If you're with someone and you feel love and you feel the excitement and you feel this state of being seen and being heard, whatever it is, right? And being the center of someone's attention, which is what we are for God, by the way. We just don't know it yet. And so when we feel that by someone we actually see and touch and, like there's an actual person, or we believe it's an actual person, and that therefore, and we associate that feeling with that person. Like this person provides this feeling for him. This person makes me feel loved. And what that person is doing, it is just opening up the valve. It's giving you the excuse to open up the valve that's already within you. That if you had the right practices and could have a moment of like curiosity to see how that works, you could access this valve by yourself, because that valve was put into you by God. And God is here to overflow your valve. And so that not only is just so you and God can have an overflow, because that's really almost all that is and all that you need, but so that you can overflow into your brothers and sisters, into your partner, into your children. That valve is there in you. You are the one that brings it. You are the container. And yet we think it comes from somewhere else. So isn't it interesting how that happens in relationships? We associate one thing with the other, and we think that that's what brings it, but what really is happening is that it's here within us. And that's the same thing with presence. That's the same thing with the state of love. Like, we think all these things and getting all these things done and pushing and doing, and even believing the lies in our mind of doubts or whatever, we think giving that the attention is somehow going to solve this problem, when that's a distraction to actually being here right now with what's in front of us. Even if it's looking at our thoughts, but we're looking at them, right? We're not like believing in them. We're not like the victim in the thought story, We're not the puppet in the game, which many times we are, We all know this, and we can, not that we all know this, but we all are guilty of this. And that's normal. That's part of the human experience. That's what we're here to learn. That's what we're here to undo. And yet, it's like we may think we're the victim in the story, the actor in the story, but really you can become present with anything when you just bring your awareness to it. Right? When you're observing it as you're in it. Isn't that interesting? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, think about it. Like, you can observe yourself within the own scene of whatever's happening in your life as you have a conversation with someone. And you can observe them, not to judge them, not to be like, oh, is this guy being sneaky if they have intentions? I mean, maybe energetically that might become clear, but just to observe them. If anything, go deeper, see the truth in them. And that will bring you into the moment. That will bring you into the peace of God. Basically saying, doesn't matter what this person says, does, tastes like, looks like, dresses like, it doesn't matter, because I see the truth in them. And as I see the truth in them, I know the truth in me, which rests fully in this moment and is not dependent on anything else. And therefore, I'm at ease. I'm at peace. I have like an overlay of protection. I have a protection of this. The peace of this moment protects me. But I can only access that peace and that protection by bringing in my focus, by choosing to have my attention be here. No past, no future, just here. What is? This is happening. This symptom is up in my body. Okay, what is here? Right? And then like bringing that into every moment. That's the challenge. That's the work. I'm there. And I invite you, if this is something that's completely new to you, or it's something that you've thought about, but like maybe you've not found a way to like fully be in that presence, in that holy instant, how the Course in Miracles says, then this is an opportunity. Join me in this holy instant. Notice as you look at the video, what's going on in your mind. Or is your presence here into the conversation and what I'm saying? Are your listening ears on? Right? Almost can you feel a presence in your body? Like, right? There's like a... And yet, you're not attached to any of it. You're just taking it all in. You're just receiving what's here. Without judgment. This is the work. This is how we come into miracles. Because when we access the peace of God, we access miracles. Things unfold. Things happen. Relationships shift, transform. In instance. Like I'm saying the plural of instant. Like in many instances, right? Like they transform. Things happen. Unexpected things, beautiful things, healing happens. Because we are here, we are present with what is, and we are taking it in, and we're the container for it. And we allow it to be. And we realize that we are the bringer. We are the bearer of the light, right? And being full in this moment is us shining our light. Because we have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to fight. And even if we're shining a light upon seemingly negative thoughts or things that are bothering us or we're obsessing about, we can look at them, like really look at them. Interesting. This is happening in my mind right now. This is coming forward. What other thought is coming forward? And just keep looking at it and let it go. Not judging it, not trying to stop it, not getting caught in it, because that happens too. Beautiful. This is your invitation to presence, folks. You can take it wherever you go, just like love. That's why I made the comparison with the story of love and how when we fall in love, we think it's the other person that gives it to us, right? And sometimes we think presence is like, oh, I feel so present. We feel presence, Love and presence are the same frequency. That's why when we're with people that we're feeling like we're super in love with, you know, we are so present because that's all we care about. Our intention and our attention is right here, is right there in this. It's all we think about. It's all we care about, right? It's like everything else gets drowned out and you hone in. What if we could do that? What if we could do that falling in love, but with this moment? Because the lesson here is that we're never really falling in love with anybody. No one is bringing love to us or giving us love. They are just giving us the permission slip to be love, to feel the love we have within us, to open the valve and let the fountain flow. And then we feel what we feel. And the same thing is with presence. We bring the presence. We bring the intention and the attention. We make this moment holy. It is here. God has given it to us to access Him, to access her, to access love, God, love, one and the same. Presence, God, love, all one and the same. Isn't that incredible? They're all accessible together. They are the same frequency. When you have one, you have the other. So go on. Bring your intention. Bring your love, your light, and your presence to everything you can do today. Everything you're doing from this moment forward. At least try as much as you can. Maybe put an alarm, and every so often when that alarm goes off, remember, presence practice, right? Accessing the presence. I am the bearer of presence. I am the bearer of love. I am the bearer of light. Love you all so much. Let's shine our light. Let's shine our love. Let's shine our presence. 2222 on the clock. See you next time.